Have you ever noticed that you keep meeting the same kind of person, even when they look different at first? Different face, different vibe, different story. But somehow, it all ends the same way. They pull away. They totally confuse you. You even give more than you planned to. And you're left wondering how you got here, again. It doesn't feel like a pattern. It feels like coincidence. Or bad luck. Or just, that's how people are. But it's not random. And it's not just about them. There's something quieter happening underneath all of this. Because the people we attract often reflect the emotional environment we've learned to feel familiar in. Not necessarily what we want, but what feels known. And that's where it starts to get uncomfortable. Because on the surface, your behavior might look very simple. You reply quickly. You think carefully about your words. You reread messages before sending them. You try not to say the wrong thing. You avoid being too much. You always tell yourself to be patient when something feels off. Small things. Easy to overlook. But those little behaviors carry meaning. They indicate something deeper than interest or kindness. They signal emotional positioning. And people, especially emotionally unavailable or inconsistent people, pick up on that faster than you realize. Not consciously, but instinctively. Because when someone senses that you're trying to maintain connection at all costs, they don't feel pressure to do the same. And that's not because you're weak. It's because somewhere along the way, you learned that keeping the connection matters more than expressing discomfort. That staying is safer than risking rejection. That silence is better than conflict. And that pattern doesn't start in dating. It usually starts much earlier. In environments where love felt uncertain. Where attention had to be earned. Where emotional closeness came with conditions. So your mind adapted. It built a version of you that knows how to keep people. Not by demanding clarity, but by adjusting, softening, waiting. That's not weakness. It's protection. But here's where it gets interesting. You're not just attracting the same type of person. You're recreating a familiar emotional dynamic. Because consistency can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, when your system is used to unpredictability. So when someone is clear, present, and emotionally available, it might feel calm at first. But then something strange happens. It feels boring. Or too easy. Or like something is missing. And you can't quite explain why. But when someone is distant, slightly unavailable, hard to read, your attention sharpens. You start analyzing more. Thinking more. Feeling more. Because your system recognizes the pattern. Not as pain, but as something meaningful. Something to figure out. Something to win. And that's where the deeper pattern lives. It's not about the person. It's about what their behavior activates in you. Because inconsistency doesn't just create confusion. It creates emotional engagement. And if your identity has been shaped around earning connection, then that emotional engagement can feel like connection itself. Even when it's not. So you stay longer. You give more. You try to understand them better. Not because you don't see the red flags. But because part of you believes that if you can just get it right this time, it will finally feel secure. And that belief runs deep. Deeper than logic. Because it's tied to identity. To who you've learned to be in relationships. The one who understands. The one who waits. The one who doesn't give up easily. And there's something quietly powerful about that identity. But it also comes with a cost. Because when your role becomes maintaining the connection, you stop questioning whether the connection is actually meeting you. You become focused on not losing them. Instead of noticing what you're losing in you. Your voice. Your boundaries. Your clarity. And over time, that starts to feel normal. So when the same type of person shows up again, it doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels familiar. Even when it hurts. And that's why this pattern repeats. Not because you're choosing the wrong people on purpose. But because something in you recognizes the dynamic before it recognizes the outcome. It feels known. And the mind is always drawn to what it understands, even if it's uncomfortable. So the pattern continues. Different person. Same emotional experience. And once you start to see it this way, it shifts something. Because now it's not just about who you're attracting. It's about what feels natural to you, and why. It's about the version of you that learned how to stay connected. Even at the cost of being fully seen. And once you see that, you can't unsee it. The pattern stops feeling random. It starts feeling structured. Predictable. Almost designed. Not by chance. But by repetition. And awareness doesn't instantly change the pattern. But it changes how you experience it. You start noticing earlier. Feeling differently. Questioning what once felt automatic. And that awareness alone quietly changes how you move. Because it was never just about them. It was about the pattern. And the moment you see the pattern, something in you starts to shift. Even if you can't fully explain it yet. If this explains something for you, there's more to uncover. Because understanding yourself is where everything begins.